Good morning. It's Tuesday, October 18th. Hope you're having a good morning. This morning, I was in 1 Corinthians chapters 8 through 10. 1 Corinthians chapters 8 through 10. And I wanted to share on verse 1. Paul here, he says, all of us possess knowledge. This knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. All of us possess knowledge. This knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. Paul says all of us have a certain amount of knowledge. He says, but knowledge, knowing things, knowing facts, having knowledge in our minds, he said it puffs us up. Paul understood this better than most people. Paul was a Pharisee. Paul went to the school with Gamaliel. Paul knew the scriptures very well. Before he ever met Jesus, he knew the scriptures. And it puffed him up. He was an angry man. Why? Because he didn't know Jesus. So Paul here, there's nothing wrong with knowledge. There's nothing wrong with accumulating knowledge in our mind. We have to do that in order to live. The more things we learn, the more we can apply them to help make our lives better and other people's lives better. But Paul says, knowing all that stuff, what happens is we just get puffed up. So he tells us here the way to humble ourselves is learning. It says, but love builds up. It builds up other people. It builds up us. In chapter 13 of 1 Corinthians, Paul puts it this way. He says, if I speak in the tongues of men and angels, but have not love, I'm just a noisy gong. He says, even if I can speak the way the angels speak, if he's probably talking about here about the gift of tongues. He says, even if I had the gift of tongues, or even when I teach, if I sound almost like an angel, he says, but if I don't have love, it doesn't mean anything. I'm just a noisy gong. We all know what that sounds like. No one wants to hear a gong just over and over and over. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and have all knowledge, and if I have all faith, so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. So he says here, if I have prophetic powers, if I have the knowledge to tell the future, or speak the very words of God speaking through me prophetically, and I understand all mysteries, if God has revealed mysteries to me, and I have all knowledge, again, there's that word knowledge, and if I have all faith, if I can believe for anything, so much that I could even remove mountains. Like when Jesus said, hey, if you have faith, you can tell that mountain to go into the sea and it will happen. He says, if you have that kind of faith, but have not love, I am nothing. Paul's saying we can have all these things, but it just puffs up. It just puffs up. Why? Because the Lord gives us these gifts. He's the one who gives the gift of prophecy. He's the one that gives the gift of tongues. He's the one that gives the gift of faith. They're just free. And he bestows these gifts on who he chooses. But love is different. If I am to love people, I have to depend upon God. I have to humble myself. Because my flesh doesn't want to love. My flesh doesn't want to put others first. My flesh is interested in me, Thom. To have faith, I don't have to necessarily trust God. He gives it to me. The gift of tongues. I don't have to have faith to have the gift of tongues. He gave that to me. When God gives us a word of knowledge or prophetic utterance, He gives that to us. But to love other people, I have to go to Him daily. I come across people that are unlovely. I come across people that make me angry. I come across people who try my patience. So the way that knowledge puffs up. But in order for me to love people, I have to humble myself. I have to go before God, and I have to really ask Him for His help. I have to meet with Him daily. Because the love He gave me yesterday, I need to go back today. Because I have a new set of things I have to face today. I have new people that I need to come in contact with today. It takes me constantly going to the Lord, going, Lord, please give me love for these people so I can be like You. So I can build them up. And in the process, I am also built up. I am strengthened. I am taught by God Himself. Knowledge is just an accumulation of things we study, things we learn, things that God puts into our mind. But love is a dependence upon the very life of Jesus, living His life out through us. And that causes me, in order to do that, I have to go to Him every single day. Thanks for listening today.